fuck is up, Internet? I'm that dude Swainzilla. I'm in the man cave, and this is crazy ass news. The idea behind this series is I scour the internet for crazy, recent, non-political news stories. I pick articles based solely on their headlines. I read through them, and I talk shit the whole time. So let's get after that thing. Australian man stuck in Israel since 2013. Can't leave for 8,000 years thanks to a divorce law. Oh my god, dude. 8,000 years? He's probably not going to survive that long. I don't think. According to a court order, Noam Huppert is barred from leaving Israel even for a holiday or work until December 31st, 9,999 if he does not pay over $3 million towards child support. Oh shit. He owes $3 million in child support? How did that rack up? New Delhi, an Australian citizen's 2012 trip to Israel to be with his children turned out to be the most unfortunate decision he ever made. With his estranged wife, an Israeli national, seeking a divorce from him, he has to pay over $3 million towards child support, failing which he can't leave the country for a very long time, nearly 8,000 years to be precise. All thanks to a specific local law. According to a report in news.com.eu, Noam Huppert, who is 44 years old, is barred from leaving Israel, even for a holiday or work, until December 31st, 9,999, or until he pays the amount. The report said he had moved to Israel in 2012 so he could be closer to his two young children, then aged 1 year and 5 years old, after his wife returned to her country in 2011. Okay, I'm curious. So she bounced back there, took the kids, and then he moved back there to be closer to the kids, which sprang this trap. With the wife soon moving to Israeli court seeking divorce and child support, Huppert was issued a stay of exit order due to his monthly future debt of 5,000 Israeli shekels until the children turn 18 years old. So they're only, oh my god, so he's got 17 years to go on this thing. He has been stuck in the country ever since. The total amount in the year 2013 came to roughly $3.34 million. Huppert was quoted as saying in the report, he works as an analytical chemist for a pharmaceutical company, according to the report. While this aspect of Israeli divorce law does not attract much attention inside or outside the country, Huppert said there are many Australian men with Israeli wives who are facing the same problem. How are these Australians and Israeli women hooking up? It just seems random that there's a bunch of Israeli women and Australian men. Like, he said this is happening a lot. Hundreds of men in same situation in Israel due to local divorce law. Quoting Marina Azizi, an independent British journalist campaigning to raise awareness about the issue. Wait, she's in British? How does she know about this? Wait. Okay, so a British journalist is campaigning to raise awareness about this random Australian men, Israeli women marriage law. What the fuck? Quoting Mary Azizi, the independent British journalist campaigning to raise awareness about the situation or the issue. The report said there could be hundreds of Australians and other foreigner men in the same situation in Israel. Okay, so it's not just Australian men, but there's a couple hundreds of them. The U.S. Department incidentally warns travelers of the potential issue in its Israel travel advisory. Oh shit! The State Department says, "Hey man, careful who you're fucking out there when you're in Israel." In its court jurisdiction section, the department warns that Israeli civil and religious courts actively exercise their authority to bar certain individuals, including non-residents, from leaving the country until debts or other legal claims against them are resolved. Damn, Israel, fuck. It adds, Israel's religious courts exercise jurisdiction over all citizens and residents of Israel in case of marriage, divorce, child custody, and child support. That's why it was 3.34 mil in 1 year. The U.S. Department of State cautions its citizens to be aware that they may be subject to involuntary and prolonged stays and even imprisonment in Israel if a case is filed against them in a religious court, even if their marriage took place in the United States and regardless of whether their spouse is present in Israel. Oh shit, so you could just be in Israel. Like his wife doesn't even have to be there to go through this shit. A woman can easily put a travel ban on the father with a demand for child support, which can extend to the entire duration of the childhood, writes Serene Luca, director of documentary film No Exit Order, on the film's website. No Exit Order. So some chick from Britain is writing about it, and now we got it's not saying who the Soren Luca is from, but now there's a documentary movie on the same shit, which we've never heard about. So at least I've never heard about this shit. And the documentary seeks to raise awareness on the issue too. Once a father has the order, he can be imprisoned for up to 21 days, whether he has the ability to pay or not, without any investigation of his finances. Men are expected to pay 100% or even more of their income to pay for their children, Luca adds. Oh, and that's the end of it. Oh, shit. So, yeah, damn. Wow, that's pretty wild, man. To think that you can hook up with a person of another faith from a different country. I'm still curious to why it was just Jewish women or Israeli women and Australian men. It seems like that's pretty wild, but I guess it's not just Australian men. But so you could hook up with a chick. I mean, do you have to marry her for this stuff to be in effect? Like it was his ex-wife. That's just wild, man. I mean, hey, I'm so glad I've never had to deal with that problem. No kids here. I'm happy with that decision. Here, let me get this off the screen here. Yeah, so stoked that I didn't fall down that. I'm an uncle, so like I get the best of both worlds. I get to hang out with my brother's kids and my sister's kids, and then they're not my responsibility. If I accidentally fuck them up, then I'm not the one to be blamed. I was allowed around them by their parents. Oh, crazy. Yeah, but yeah, pretty wild that you could hook up with some chick and then be stuck in a country if you decided, like, dude wanted to be next to his kids. It didn't sound like he was interviewed in this article at all to get his point of view from this. It just sounds like it was some record dump that they found this story within. They didn't interview anybody, which was pretty wild. So who knows what his take on it? Maybe he's like, hey, fuck it, man. Apparently, Israeli women love Australian men, so maybe he's cleaning up. And he gets to be around his kids. So what, he's got to stay in Israel. It doesn't sound like it's too bad for an Australian dude there. Anyway, later.